Hey guys, Dan Heilman back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about a couple different things. We have others dominance closing above the bull market support band for the first time in a very long time since last year. So that is pretty good. Here's others dominance here. So this is basically all of the crypto market cap excluding the top 10. So this is a lot of the smaller altcoins, not even that small, but excluding the big ones like stablecoins, Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc. So we are seeing some positive momentum in others. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some altcoins, what could happen in the next couple weeks here. This is going to be a very important week, couple weeks really, for the cryptocurrency market right now. So we have Bitcoin that is looking quite strong, actually, looking like we could potentially have seen the bottom. You can see we're kind of rounding up here. The next couple of days are going to really show us what's going to happen here. We have rate cuts coming on the 17th of this month, so that will be very important too. It's pretty much guaranteed that we get rate cuts, so we'll talk about that. And the moon cycles, some people love when we talk about the moon cycles, but yeah, we have the bull moon that happened today, which is usually a good predictor roughly for some price action. Now, I was messing around and trying to make a moon cycle indicator because the one that is built into TradingView does not show you the future one. So basically you have these moon cycles, and as you can see, the bull moon, you usually get a price move up. Now, this is not perfectly accurate, but if I'm in a long and we're coming to a bear market, I might consider closing it, just because I think it has more to do with the cycles, because Bitcoin runs in a 60-day cycle and the moon cycles are 29.5. So I don't think it's like, oh, people are crazy on a full moon, and I'm not that superstitious or follow astrology, but I just, in a general rule, you can see here was a bear moon, the price did go down. Here's a bull moon, maybe the price is going to go up, and generally it can kind of help in use with a bunch of other indicators. So, you don't just trade this only, although if you have been for a while, you probably have been doing pretty decent, to be honest. But anyway, so that's what we got going on. Let's begin. First thing, let's just hit the stock market real quick and just see what we got going on, because we do have the pre-market open and it is a Monday. So here's SPY. We had a kind of crazy day on Friday, so you can see a lot of price swings, and we're holding above most of the moving averages, and we're right on this historic resistance. If I clean this chart up a little bit for you guys, you can see if we draw a line through the close of these two on the weekly, we're kind of just riding this top resistance here. We've been in a bull market, as you can see, for quite a long time. I'm expecting this to continue for, I don't know, a couple months. And I do think we will get some sort of a big correction, maybe even below, I don't know, 4,800 or something in the next year. Employment has been quite weak. There are a lot of signs that we are either already in a recession or one is coming. So I'm expecting that to affect markets at some point in time. But if we look at gold as well, this is also kind of telling us, hey, what's going on here, right? So, oops, I was on the wrong one. Let's go gold, gold, gold. So gold has been breaking to new all-time highs, and silver as well has been trying to break into new all-time highs. So this is usually a predictor of sometimes some hard times to come. It doesn't have to be, but sometimes it can be. So that's what we got going on there. So Bitcoin, as I said, doing pretty good. Ethereum, just kind of hanging out here. We had this falling wedge and we've kind of just broken out of it. It's not even really a breakout. We're kind of just ranging here. So Ethereum not really doing too much. Now, if we look at some of the other coins, Solana in a breakout right now, broke out of this, kind of ranged for a while. I had a trade opened here. I closed the trade over here, of course, and then now it's ripping to 12. So this is quite impressive because Solana has had a lot of selling from Binance. I have one of these Telegram alerts where you can kind of see let's see, can I pull this up? I'm in this Telegram group that kind of shows it just tracks big wallets and what they're doing, and you can see that, like, literally sometimes it's like every hour Binance dumps Solana a lot of it. Like here's 3 mil of dumpage of course I come in here to look at it and it doesn't show it as much, but usually it's like every hour. I guess it actually is. So there's 6. Here's 5 a.m. Another 3 mil of Solana dumped. Here's, you know, a minute earlier, another 2 million of Solana dumped. Here's 2 million of Solana dumped by Binance. Again, you can see Coinbase is dumping a little bit of Solana. So there's a lot of market manipulation or just kind of holding the price down for Solana, and it's continuing to do well regardless of that. I personally think, tinfoil hat on, that they're trying to suppress Solana below their market cap for Binance Coin. If we do pull up the total coin market cap here and we look at this, you can see Solana is right behind Binance in terms of total market cap. So I mean, they could just be trying to suppress it, but the price has been holding up quite well nonetheless. Even Fartcoin has a nice breakout. Ooh, nice. A nice breakout out of resistance. So a lot of these altcoins are doing very well. Litecoin has broken out and is now slowing down a little bit, which is okay. I mean, it's been breaking out and been very strong for a while. So some of the others are now taking the lead. Bonk has a nice little break out of this channel, almost a retest, and then is ripping again. What else we got moving? Zora's moving. Wild had a massive breakout. So a lot of these others coins are doing extremely well recently. So that's good news because, you know, a lot of these altcoins have been very, very, very beat down. Hype is doing good today, 7% up. Pengu is doing nice, a nice little breakout. This also looks like kind of a breakout out of, if we draw something like, I don't know if we draw something kind of like this. I don't know, not quite a breakout, but almost there. We're almost there. It's trying to. If you draw something from here to here, it looks like we've had some sort of a breakout. So Pengu doing very good. What else we got going on? AI16, this one's coming back a little bit. Any other big movers? Virtuals is moving again, looking like potential some breakouts out of maybe here. Yeah, maybe. Looks like we have a potential breakout there. So we do have some altcoins doing extremely well. Bitcoin dominance is rolling over and potentially trying to go down again, maybe. If we draw something like this, we kind of, you know, you'd expect it to maybe move up. You know, it's a dominance chart, so it doesn't work quite the same as, you know, price. You're not going to be able to trade this, but anyways, others dominance, as I said, has had the first weekly close above the bull market support band, which is these moving averages right here, since back in 2024. So November, when we saw the last altcoin season. So that's pretty cool. If we go into the cryptoverse and I pull up my premium subscription from Ben's chart, you can see if we go to charts and we go to altcoin season index, you can see here that we've been holding up here and even potentially in some sort of an altcoin season right now. If you use the 60-day moving average, 90-day, which we haven't seen it go into altcoin season since December of last year, is making a little bit of a higher and potentially moving up. So we are seeing some altcoins definitely showing some strength, which is good to see. Now, if we go and show, here's others I was just talking about. If we go and show others divided by Ethereum, so basically the others, the everything besides the top 10 divided by Ethereum, we've actually had the lowest RSI in history ever on the weekly chart, literally ever. The RSI is 22.69. It has never been that low. So altcoins have been very sold off compared to Ethereum, and that makes sense. Ethereum is doing very well, has been doing very well, and Ethereum is usually the first mover in, you know, after we get Bitcoin season, we get Ethereum season, and then we'll get the other high cap market coins like Solana and XRP, etc. So that's looking quite good. XRP is showing a little bit of a bounce off the bull market support band. We could see a move higher for that one. Litecoin kind of just hanging out, doing not much of anything. Sui trying to get above this moving average here. ADA bouncing off the bull market support band. Doge has been doing good, is now above the bull market support band when we look at the weekly. Daily, it's looking good as well. AVAX, again, trying to get above the bull market support band. XLM, same story. HBAR, looks like it's trying to as well. And DOT even is showing some nice moves here. So DOT could potentially be making some moves. So altcoins are doing very well. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens in, the rates. If we go to like FedWatch tool, and we pull this up, we're basically getting a rate cut. A lot of people are thinking that rate cuts are going to be very bullish. You can see September, we actually have 90% chance to get a rate cut of at least 0.5% and a 10% chance to get a even bigger rate cut, which would, 3.75 to 4. Yeah, okay. So we're going to see a rate cut basically guaranteed according to this tool. And we might even see further rate cuts all the way down to, 3.25, which would be quite insane. But usually what happens is when you get rate cuts, people don't want to have a bunch of, guaranteed returns like treasuries and high yield savings. Those will come down, and that means that people will want to move their money into riskier assets. That's historically the thoughts of this, and it just brings more money into the universe, right? Because people can borrow for cheaper. So that's kind of the whole theory behind that. And I think people are moving and making some positions here because of that. So altcoins are looking great. They really are looking great. And if we go to let's just look at like the total market cap here. So if we go here, total market cap is doing good. It is holding above historic resistance, right? So this is the last all-time high from 2024. And that is, we're holding above it right now. Interesting. So total 2 is trying to make a new all-time high, hasn't yet. Total 3, which is market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum, is doing well. As I said, others is now potentially breaking out of this big pattern here. So this would be very strong if we see a nice rip out of here. So the market's looking strong, and this could continue, right? Everyone has been saying September is going to be an awful month, and maybe everyone front ran that, sold off in August, and maybe we do see a really nice September when historically we don't. So that is definitely a possibility, because if we go to into the cryptoverse again, we go back to the dashboard and we go to like the monthly returns, you can see, I've said it a couple times, but everyone was expecting August to be green because all the post-halving months for Bitcoin have been green. Right? Here's 2021, here's 2017, here's 2013. You can see those were both green, and then September was red. So maybe we flop these, and maybe August, like we did last year, right? So look at last year, July green, August red, almost this very similar numbers. In September, maybe we see another couple percent and it continues going. And then, I mean, in 2024, September, October, November were great months for Bitcoin. And maybe we see that again. Who knows? And Ethereum, let's check Ethereum real quick. Same exact similar story, I believe. So last year, 2024, actually, no, it was worse. Ethereum was doing much worse. So I don't know, maybe 2021, we had green, and red September. Maybe we see that for Ethereum. Maybe we see a run for Bitcoin. That is another thing that could definitely happen, is some of the altcoins kind of hang out. Maybe Ethereum gets a pullback, and maybe altcoins don't care as much about that because, again, others divided by Ethereum. It looks like it's potentially bottomed. If we go to the weekly, you can see it even stronger. We've had basically 3 weeks of up, and it's still way oversold, right, on the RSI. So maybe Ethereum gets a big pullback, and Bitcoin and altcoins decide they want to run. So that's something that could happen, and that could also, cause Bitcoin dominance to go up, because Ethereum has the biggest market cap. So if it tanks a lot, and then altcoins either, Ethereum could go down, altcoins could go up, Bitcoin could go up. There's a lot of things that could happen, but that's kind of what I'm expecting to happen. Maybe we do have altcoins showing some strength. Maybe we have Bitcoin show some strength again, because Bitcoin has been obviously not dominating. Here's Bitcoin dominance. It's gone down. The dominance has gone down. That's a pretty big move, 12%. When we see a typical altcoin season, which I think everyone is hoping and praying for, you see something like this. So in the matter of a couple of weeks, you see a massive drop. I mean, this was, 43%. So we haven't seen that yet. This could come back, retest, and then drop. And we'll kind of just see what happens. Unfortunately, we're kind of tied to the stock market. So the stock market is going to kind of lead the way. the miners got a big hit on Friday because the New York Stock Exchange said some crap like they're going to have more scrutiny on companies buying Bitcoin or something like that. So a lot of these treasury companies just took massive hits. So SMLR was down, IREN was down, you know, last couple of days. So that didn't help, but we'll see what happens. That's going to be it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. And if you do want to do any leverage trading, I do use Bitunix as my favorite exchange. I'm trying some other exchanges right now. So we'll probably have some videos on that to come soon. But I, right now, only have a Bitcoin long on. Unfortunately, I closed a lot of my altcoin positions and now they're doing great. So I do have an affiliate link below. If you want to try leverage trading, you can also just buy spot on here. It's an amazing exchange with low fees. And if you use the affiliate link, it gives you even lower fees. So that is pretty cool. I just have a low leverage, only 2x. It is a pretty big position though. Bitcoin long, and I am expecting us to get back in the profit quite soon. Again, we have the bull market, which some people love when I talk about, but that's going to be it for the video. Use those affiliate links as the best way to support the channel. And I also do have one for Market Cipher B, which is his indicator down here. It's another thing I use to trade here with momentum waves. So if you are interested in trading, feel free to use those links. And that's going to be it for the video. Good luck out there. Stay safe. And we're looking good, man. There's a Bitcoin 4-hour is back up here. So it looks like we are definitely breaking out. You know, people say the bull moon doesn't work. Now, again, it's not perfect, but it does seem to be pushing the price up. Who knows? Monday is usually a dump day. So we'll see if we get back in the profit here. I might close some of my position and then try to re-add a little bit lower because we do sometimes see pullbacks on Monday. But that's it for the video. Have a great day. See you guys.